All right, here's what we're doing today. We've got a track day tomorrow, Road Atlanta through N2. So I have to prep that. And I'm still on the fence if I want to prep that and take that one with me. And of course I started talking, so immediately the dogs have to start barking. Let me tell them to shut up. Elvis, shut up! Every fucking time. Anyway, and I just kicked out my fan here. So let's see, let's plug that back in. All right, so maybe I can edit that out. So here's what we've got. Got a 2020 ZX6R KRT edition. It's all safety wired, although for novice it doesn't have to be, but I've done safety wiring on the filler cap, as well as the oil drain plug, which goes down there, and the oil filter. I safety wire clips on the end. You can buy a bag of those off of Amazon, so you can just clip it and unclip it each time you need to change the oil or do something, without having to, you know, redo all the safety wire. Same thing here. It's all captive. Same on the rear axle nut. I got rid of the stupid cotter pin and just put a big clip that's also safety wired. You don't technically have to do that. I just do it just, I don't know, because I do. So what do you have to do to prep a bike for track? Well, as long as you're not in advance, you don't have to worry about the belly pan, you don't have to worry about draining coolant, you don't have to worry about safety wiring, everything including brake calipers and all that kind of stuff. For novice and most groups and intermediate, all you have to do is, go ahead. And there's the dogs barking again. I'll never get through a video without an interruption. So what we've got is, you gotta remove this. I'll probably just pop that off, or you can tape it up with masking tape if you want. So what you really need is just a couple basic tools. Needle nose pliers, you need a hex wrench to take off the screws here to get at the fuse box underneath there. And to unplug all your lights here in the States and other parts of the country or in the world, you just go and do a track day and you just ride your bike there and pretty much do it. Here we got to tape up all the plastic lenses, so I'll just take masking tape. I've got a big green roll right there. I've also got some electrical tape. I'll just wrap tape around that, tape this up, and then cut out the edge with a pocket knife. Remove the tag, but you also have to unplug the lights, just so there's no bleed through, the light coming through when you hit the brakes and stuff. So under your tank, under the back seat on your ZX6R, there's 4 plugs. These 3 are in that big rubber thing. So just unplug them. One's your left turn signal, right turn signal, and your tail light, that lights up the the tag. And then there's another plug, and this is the trickiest one. These ones right here, just unplug the damn things. There is one that goes down in there, and that's a 3-prong. It's got 3 connections on it, 3 wires. That's your actual brake light. So you have to reach down, and what I did was just reached in with a long pair of needle nose, grab it, and pull it right out. So you just unplug those. Very simple. I'll unplug these in a moment. It's hard to do this while I'm holding a tool and holding the camera, but you unplug those. Then for the headlights, I've already removed those screws, so I should be able to just pop this piece of plastic out. And underneath here, you will see the fuse box. So you've got your turn signals and stuff. I'm just gonna leave those in. The one that I want is headlight. So it's a second one from the top. So pop that bad boy open. If you can grab it, if not, grab a pair of needle nose pliers, which I will have to do, because again, I only have one hand here. Oh, actually, I got, let's see, these ones. So go ahead and pull that fuse, put it aside, and then take your key. And if you're like, oh my God, I lost my key, where is it? Well, that's probably what I did, which is putting it underneath, where did I put it? Usually it's in the keyhole for the back seat. Where did I put the damn key? I took it out. Huh. Lovely. So somehow I have already, oh, you know where it is? I put it up on top of the fridge. All right, so what you want to do now is turn it on. Hear the injectors firing up. Everything's good. It's gonna run. Don't know why it thinks I have no gas. Maybe I have no gas. I thought I fueled up recently, but I'll be fueling up on the way to the track. Nope, I guess I need gas. So at that point, that's good. So you turn it on, You got your DRLs. I don't know where the plugs are for those. They're LEDs, so they don't produce a lot of heat. So I'm not worried about, you know, covering this with tape and then having a heat issue and warping the plastic like you get with incandescent bulbs. LEDs don't throw out that much heat. So that's good. Put that cover down. My spare, or my fuse. We've got no, let's see, what do we got back here? All right, so I need to unplug all of these. But right now what I want to check is the brake. So I'm pressing on the brake with my foot, no light. I'm gonna press on it with my front lever, no brake light, so that's good. So all I gotta do is once I get two hands free, I need to just unplug those 3 wires, put everything back on, put that cover back on here. And at that point, that's all you have to do for the electrics. The rest of the bike is gonna be very simple. Get some rubbing alcohol, don't use brake cleaner, get some rubbing alcohol, put it on a paper towel, and wipe off all the plastic that you want your masking tape to stick to. You use masking tape instead of duct tape because it will peel off easy. The downside of that is if you've polished your bike and you've got any of that nice smooth polish on there, it's not gonna stick. The stuff's gonna be coming off. So once I've wiped out this, that, and the tail light and the blinkers with rubbing alcohol, just tape it up. If you want to get fancy, and I'll show you the finished product, we'll come back after I'm done. I tape it all with the green masking tape, and I'll take my little Swiss Army knife with the really sharp little point, and I'll just trace that out and peel off the excess. So A, it looks a little better, but also the pieces that are over here, they tend to get caught in the wind and flap around. So by kind of cutting it along the edge and kind of tucking them in a little bit, it just makes sure the tape stays better. Same thing here. That's really the biggest part of this, and that's what takes the longest, is you're gonna spend 15 minutes wiping it down with alcohol, taping it, and then, you know, cutting with an X-Acto knife or whatever just to make it look nice. After that, I'm just gonna use, I think it's probably the same hex head, I don't know if it's 3.5 or 4.5, to just remove, my mirrors. Pop them off. If you got a Suzuki, you got the wires coming through there for but it's, you know, for the Kawasaki, it's pretty nice, straightforward. So again, I'll need both hands for that so I don't drop it. I take that off and then I just put the screws back in. I put a little washer there because those do help anchor that. You'll see how it wiggles. So I'll just go ahead and put the couple washers, one washer on each bolt, and put the bolt back on, put these on, you know, off to the side on the table. And that's it. At that point, I mean, technically you could just tape these up and fold them in, but I figured, well, I'll just remove them. It's easy enough on this bike. If I had the Suzuki, I would be just taping them up. Because you got the wires and they have to go down in and get fed. You got to remove the dash to get to the plug. It's more of a pain in the ass. These, it's 2 bolts and they pop off and put the bolts back in. So that's it. We'll come back when we're done, show you the finished product. But if you're doing a track day and you're like, hey, what do I have to do? And you happen to have a ZX6R, it's easy. I'm spending more time talking about this than it really takes to do it. It's unplug a few things in the back, pull the fuse in the front, put the panel back on, pop these off, and then just tape up all the lenses. And you know, trim up nice if you want. That's pretty much it. So we'll be back in a few. And we're back. So here's what we've got. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, tape up your wheel weights. So taped it up after wiping it down with rubbing alcohol. Same thing, just tape it up nice, push it around the corners, get a razor blade knife. I used my delicious Guardian Tactical Recon 035, which is a brilliant knife. I've got a review on my channel somewhere. LMAX steel, which is pretty much almost the best you can get. In that Tonto blade, that tip, just the tip, that tip is a freaking scalpel. So it was just like having an X-Acto knife. I was able to go around the edge and cut it all nice. Plus it's got really sweet action. Anyway, this is about bikes, not about knives. So that's all taped up nice. Fuses pulled, showed that earlier in the video. That's taped up. Wheel weights, tape those up. Same on the back, tape them up. I just ran tape around this, removed my tag, just put a little tape on that because it's exposed metal. It has not a sharp edge, but I don't know. Just in case they say something, takes an extra 10 seconds. Tape that up, blinker up there in the front, and that's pretty much it. I mean, you unplug the 4 plugs in the back, and that disables all the lights in the back. Clean it up, tape it up, make it look nice. Take this panel off with that push pin, that screw, and that screw. Pull that off, pull your fuse. It's just a 15 amp fuse. It's labeled on the cover. Do that. And that's pretty much it. Your daytime running lights will be on in the sunlight. No one's going to care about that. They're not going to produce heat. If you wanted to put a piece of black tape right there, you could, so you can't see any light shining. The biggest thing about light on the track is, for whatever reason in the States, they don't want the brake light showing. They're afraid someone's right behind you, you hit the brakes, you're going to spook them. I think it's better to see the brake lights personally, but I don't know. I don't make the call. I don't make the decisions. I'm sure there's reasons for their rules. I know overseas you see a lot of people doing track days and the brake lights are on because you want to see the person's braking on you before you smash into the back of them and then go, oh, I guess they were slowing down. But that's how it is. That's how easy it is. The biggest time suck here was the 15 minutes it took me to wipe these all down with alcohol, tape it, trim it. Other than that, it's just unplugging a couple things. Putting tape on the wheels, taping up your blinkers. It really is simple. I'm gonna go, now I'm thinking about maybe when to do that. I know a bunch of people on the channel want to see a RS on the track. So I'm thinking of doing that, although it is kind of more of a hassle and trailering an extra bike there and prepping it and unprepping it and stuff. But maybe I will do it. Let's see if I feel lazy or not. But anyway, that's how you prep your ZX6R. Pop the mirrors off, tape it up, unplug some stuff, and you're ready to roll for the most part.